I became physically, let me not get there. I don't know if I should do that. No, I should. I have to. That's the whole point. Hello, welcome back to another video. I'm so glad you're here. Today I want to talk about the word shameless and what it means to me, but also what it means to other people. Like, when you think of the word shameless, you think of somebody who just does whatever they want without caring about the repercussions or the consequences, or somebody who doesn't have morals, manners, or, you know, somebody who's like an a-hole, whatever. But to me, what the word shameless means is not really taking other people's opinions and letting it dictate my worth. Also, owning my past, right? And owning where I'm at, even if I'm not happy with where I'm at currently. Like, as I expressed in my previous video, I've wanted to create a YouTube channel for like 10 years and I never did it because I just felt I wasn't worthy of it, or I felt like my life was too messy. That just kept me stuck, obviously. Now I'm just owning my story. I'm owning everything. I don't care. Like, as I said in my previous video, I'm a single mom of two by two different men. My daughter is 10. She's about to be 10 in a few weeks, and my son is 3. I'm also living at my parents' house. So it just seems like I don't have my life together, you know what I'm saying? But I have a story. Obviously, we all have a story. But with my daughter's father, that was, you know, I was young. It was very toxic. Didn't work out. Cool, whatever. With my son's father, it was also toxic. Didn't work out. And I just refused to be with a man just because we have a child together. I am so quick to leave. I do not care, because if I'm not my best self, then how can I be the best mother to my kids? And that whole situation, like with my son's father, it was just really bad. I was losing myself in that relationship. My mental health was just deteriorating, I feel like, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. And he would guilt trip me, you know, whenever I would try to leave him. He would say like, oh, you know, you only care about yourself. You don't care about how it's hurting our son. You know, I agree with certain things. Like, yeah, it's very hard on a child to grow up in two households. You know what I mean? Like, I completely understand. But he would say that, I feel like, to get his way and to have me right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, very much controlling, very much a lot of gaslighting and manipulation. And yeah, I was just becoming this very nasty person. I became physically, and let me not get there. I don't know if I should do that. No, I should. I have to. That's the whole point. Hello. Okay. It got to a point where I was physically abusive with my son's father. Because of everything he was doing. That's not to excuse my actions, you know what I'm saying? But like, he was always talking to multiple women. You know, there was infidelity. There was just a lot. The first time I put my hands on him was when he cheated on me and slept with his ex and got her pregnant, and then thought it was a brilliant idea to come get me pregnant. You know, I was pregnant and I was so happy. Like, I'm like, yes, like, this is perfect. Life is great. And then he tells me, I remember we were at the mall. We were in the parking lot. And then he's like, oh, yeah, so-and-so is pregnant. And I was like, okay, like, I don't care. You know, because I'm pregnant. So I don't care about his past or his exes. I don't care. Like, I'm just focused on the family that we're creating. So I'm like, okay, like, why are you telling me? And he's just like, by me. And I was like, what? You're no way. Like, you're pranking me right now. I couldn't believe it, right? Because, like, I'm pregnant by you right now. What do you mean your ex is pregnant by you right now? I'm so confused. Like, you haven't been with her for a long time. You know, the math wasn't mathing. And then he had told me, because a few weeks prior to that, he had told me that he wanted to go talk to his ex to give her closure or whatever. And then the day after, he was like, oh yeah, like we had sex or whatever. And I was like, yeah, right. Because I couldn't believe, like genuinely, I couldn't believe it. Because I'm like, no, like you wouldn't do that to me. You know, I trusted you to go. Like, so I didn't believe it. I didn't freaking believe it. And then turns out they really did end up having sex and she got pregnant. So that's what he was telling me in the car that day at the mall. Like, remember, I already told you we had sex. Why are you acting like this is like why are you acting this way? So shocked. And I was like, are you hearing yourself right now? Why? Like, yeah. So that was that. And of course I was extremely upset. Also, I'm fucking pregnant, right? So yeah, I did throw a few punches here and there. I'm not proud of it. I'm not condoning it. This is me just being vulnerable and being honest with you guys about my past and my mistakes. Again, because that's the whole point of my channel, right? So I ended up aborting this baby and broke up with him, obviously. I went into a really dark depression. I was drinking a lot, smoking a lot. Like, it was so bad. And then a few months later, he calls me. I was in a very dark, vulnerable place. And like, he knew that. So he approached me with such charm and kindness and love. I felt like I needed it, like, because I was in a dark place again, right? So in my head at the time, I was like, well, he chose me, like, because he told me that his ex ended up aborting that baby as well. So I'm like, okay, well, he's calling me and he's telling me he still wants me and he made a mistake and whatever. He told me everything that I wanted to hear. So there I go. I forgive him. I get back with him. I'm still not over aborting this baby because, like, I loved him. Like, I loved him. I wanted my family. So I'm, like, still grieving that loss. And now I'm back with him. So now I'm just like, I want to try for another one. I was not mentally okay. I was not. I was hurt. I was broken. I felt lost. I feel like I was grieving. I was just in a vulnerable place. So we ended up trying again and I got pregnant. Okay, hold on. Let me backtrack real quick because yes, I wanted another baby. Yes, we were trying, but it didn't happen, right? So I'm like, you know what? Maybe now's not the time. It's cool. Then we had gotten into an argument. I forgot what it was, but you know, I was a spicy dancer before I got pregnant with my son. Also because I was a single mom, my parents didn't have the finances to help me, so you know, I just did what I had to do. So I've been in the game since 2018, but on and off, because I would leave, I would try like a 9 to 5. Like, I had sold cars, I worked at a deli, I've had, I'll say, like, SDs. If you know, you know. And again, I'm being shameless right now, you guys, in the way that I described what it means, right? I just had to do what I had to do to get by and to provide for mine. So it is what it is. Like, if people want to judge me, cool, judge me. I don't care. I don't care anymore. I'm getting sidetracked. So we end up getting into an argument and end up drinking too much at work, and I end up cheating on him, you know, with someone I met. It was just so stupid. I was drunk, okay? I was drunk. I turned off my location. So he's like, why'd you turn off your location? No, first he said, why are you driving the other way? Now you turned off your location. What are you doing? And I just kept lying and lying. And then the next morning when I'm sober, I'm like, oh shoot, like I messed up real bad. I was crying to him like, forgive me, whatever. Completely forgetting about the argument that we had. But since I did wrong and I cheated, I was just like basically kissing his toes. And he ended up forgiving me. Even though I lied to him, I lied to his face. I even like swore on my daughter. Like, it was, I'm being honest with you guys, okay? Like, I'm being honest. It was really bad. I just didn't want to lose him. Like, I didn't want to lose him. So whatever, he forgave me. And then like a week later, he got me pregnant. And now I have my son. And now that I think of it, I'm like, why would you get me pregnant right after I cheated on you? I don't know. Like, it didn't make sense to me. So I was like, whatever. Anyways, of course I was happy when I found out I was pregnant. It was great. And then when I was 4 months pregnant with my son, I found jewelry, female jewelry, lashes, and a condom in his room. Mind you, I'm 4 months pregnant. So of course I'm like livid, like pissed, heartbroken. I was devastated. I put my hands on him again. Yeah. At that point, it was too late to get rid of this baby. I ended up staying. But ever since that moment, I had like hidden resentment towards him, like throughout the whole relationship. So fast forward to my son being 2 months old, he ends up cheating on me. I was like, of course, devastated. I didn't put my hands on him this time though. I was just like, you know what? I'm done. I left. I ended up going back to him because I'm like, I have a baby by you. He's 2 months old. Like, what am I gonna do? You know what I mean? So like, I stayed. It was just toxic. It was just really toxic. I feel like I'm getting the timelines a little messed up, but I do remember breaking up with him. I ended up sleeping with my ex, like SD, because I needed some money. My son's father was not financially providing for me, so I was with him for like what, 2-3 years. So I was living off my savings. I had like food assistance. For those 3 years that I was with my son's father, he was not even financially providing for me. He paid my car note once, okay? And so I was like surviving off of like my savings. I would do side hustles here and there. Like, I sold juice. I would give my family rides and charge them. I was just trying to do whatever I could. I was on freaking survival mode, okay? It was really bad now that I think of it. He really sold me a dream. He sold me a fantasy, because I remember that when I was early in my pregnancy with my son, I was gonna abort too, I'm gonna be honest, because we were having a lot of issues in the relationship. But he begged me to keep the baby. He promised me that he would get himself together and get us a home and all this stuff. Like, he just said everything that I wanted to hear. So I was like, okay, you know what? Fine. I'm gonna keep the baby. I'm gonna trust your word, whatever. Nothing happened. Like, oh, well, he did. I'll give this to him. He started his business. He made some money. But I never saw the money. Never saw it. But you know what I did see? I did see him messaging other women, talking about, yeah, I'm a business owner. You know, when can I see you? I make time for the people that I want to see. Oh, asking girls what's their favorite thing to eat so he could take them out on a date. Like, all this stuff. Mind you, I'm postpartum. He's making money, whatever. He's feeling himself, whatever. And I'm like fucking miserable, okay? And again, he's not providing for me financially. It was just a hot mess. I don't even know how I stayed in there that long. Actually, I do know, because he would gaslight me, manipulate me, guilt trip me, all this stuff. Mind you, I'm not saying I'm perfect, because I did wrong in the relationship as well. But I'm just sharing my side and my experience. You know, if he wants to talk about it publicly, then he can. Great. You know, we all have the right to do that. I'm just speaking my truth and my story. That's it. So fast forward to like a year after he cheated on me, when my son was 2 months old, I discover that he's talking to a new woman. But this time, this woman is just a friend, right? He wasn't transparent about the relationship. You know, I just kept seeing her name pop up on his phone screen, and I would always ask, like, who is that, and he would get upset with me, because it's like we would be in the middle of a conversation and he would say like, oh, you're worried about the wrong things, that's just a friend. And like, he would get mad at me. And now obviously I feel like I'm not emotionally safe, so now I'm upset, and the energy is just weird now. I'm like, okay, whatever. And mind you, he had cheated on me a year prior to that. So no, I don't trust him. And he was getting mad at me because I was telling him that I don't trust him. So I was like, what? Okay, anyways, they end up hanging out like once, I think, but like nothing happened. I believe it because they were at the beach with like another friend and whatever. But it's the fact that you're building a friendship with another woman while our relationship is like rocky as hell, right? Like nothing made sense to me. So that caused a lot of issues in our relationship. The first time that I spoke to her, because, you know, he freaking, I guess, gaslit me into accepting the friendship, because he was just telling me how, oh, if you really love me, you would be happy for me that I made a friend who genuinely cares about me and wants to see me win and has a good heart, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, that's like, you're missing the point. You're missing the whole point. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Whatever. So I was like, okay, fine. I will talk to her. I will meet her, whatever. And mind you, it was like months after they were already friends and built a bond. The first time that I meet her, it's through FaceTime. And the first thing she says to me is like, oh my God, hi, it's so nice to meet you. You're going to be my wife. Like, this was meant to be. We're going to get along so well. And I'm like, what? Like, I froze because, like, what do you mean? Huh? So obviously that caused even more issues with me and my son's father. And then he ended up getting mad at her, like, why would you say that to her? Blah, blah, blah. And then she said, I'm sorry, like, I didn't really mean it in a bad way. I was just excited to meet her, blah, blah, blah. And then I asked him, like, why did she say that wife comment? Like, also, side note, my son's father wants multiple wives. And I'm not okay with it. I'm not. And he knew that. And he was like, it's still gonna happen. But just know you're my number one and no one's gonna take your place. And I was like, that's not enough. Like, and I would cry about it. And yeah. So anyways, the fact that she knows you want multiple wives and the fact that she said that to me, like, what do you guys talk about? Like, it was just very weird, right? I didn't like it. I ended up leaving him again. I left this man so many times, but I always ended up back. Yeah, just so bad. I ended up opening myself up to her again and trying to be her friend. So we ended up hanging out. One weekend, she stayed there all weekend at his house, like with me and him. And I felt so uncomfortable the whole time, but I tried so hard to just be cool with her for him, because he wanted her in his life, because she was such a great friend and was helping him with his music career, etc. She even learned how to like work the studio thing, like I don't know what the word is, like not producing, is that the word? I don't know. But she even learned how to do all that stuff. And like, yeah, they ended up hanging out every week to do music, like for hours, you know. And every time she was there, I would cry. Like, I literally have videos of me just crying and crying because I know she's there, and I'm so uncomfortable because I'm like, she wants my man. Like, no matter what she tells him or tells herself or whatever they tell me, because they were both telling me that, you know, we don't want each other in that way. We're just genuinely friends. And I'm like, okay, whatever. You know what's crazy? I even posted 2 YouTube videos about this topic last year. And they ended up finding those 2 videos. And then they came to me. Like, I went to his house. He lives with his mother. So I went to his mom's house and she came over, and they were both talking to me about how they felt about the video and like, oh, it's not nice. Like, you're tainting our image. You're making us look like bad people, blah, blah, blah. So then I felt like a piece of, you know what I'm saying? So I deleted the videos and then I stopped. Mind you, I've been wanting to create a YouTube channel and like be a YouTuber for years, right? I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'll use my life experiences and share that with the world. I don't know. So I just made YouTube videos about it, whatever. And I actually got like subscribers from that video, comments. Like, I was low-key building a little like community, right? And I had to take it down because of what they were saying to me about the videos. I was just wondering how they found my videos. Like, so weird. How did they even Like, I don't even know how they found my videos. I truly just feel like he showed her the video, but she claims that she found the video herself. I don't know. I don't believe none of it. In the videos, I just talk about how, you know, they have this friendship and it hurts me and he doesn't care. He's just concerned about how she's a convenience for his life. And he would tell me like, oh, you know, she's meant to be in my life because she's helping me with my music career, but she's not just helping me, she's helping our family, you know. And I was just thinking about, I was like, so she needs to be in your life so that you can provide for us, like as in our family. Like, that's how he like packaged it. So I was like okay with it, but internally I'm like freaking like, I'm so broken, like so heartbroken, especially because of the wife comment, right? I felt like replaced in a way, although that was just his friend, but it felt like they had a very strong connection. Also, side note, I'm very passionate about astrology, so I looked at their synastry, their astrological synastry, and they have a lot of like strong synastry. So I was like, okay, my intuition was right. Astrology confirmed it. You guys don't want to admit it to yourselves, but I'm telling you that there's something here, and it's gonna cause a lot of problems in our relationship, like mine and my son's father. And they were like, no, we promise nothing's gonna happen. So I'm like, whatever. I ended up leaving him again, and this time for good. It's been like a year and a half now that I've left him. So proud of myself. I finally realized my worth, right? That's what happened with that. Oh, he also just confessed to me that he ended up having sex with her. Yeah, shocker, multiple times, and had a threesome with her and her best friend, which is another girl that is around for the music and wants to help him fulfill his dream, and etc., etc. And I was like, when he told me, I was heartbroken. Even though we've been broken up for like a year, I was still heartbroken because I'm like, wow, so that whole time during our relationship, when I was begging you to just end that friendship because there's something there, like you didn't, and you didn't trust what I was saying. And like, look, you guys ended up sleeping together. And they're still friends to this day. They're still friends. They still work together. Like, I guess they're working on an album. He's not like big or nothing. He didn't blow up. He's trying to make something of himself in his music career. So whatever. Hopefully everything works out. Honestly, that helped me completely move on and completely emotionally detach. And I was like, you know what? That's all I needed to hear. Like, I'm good. And to this day, he still will call me like mommy. And the delusion, like, don't get me wrong, you have to be delusional to like get what you want in life, but like the way he's delusional about me being his again, like, no. Because never again. I'm sorry. Okay, anyways, that's that. My son's father makes me feel shame for my life choices. Recently he was like, oh, you're such a liar. You said you weren't gonna smoke again and you're smoking again. You said you weren't gonna go back to the club and you went back. Like, you're just such a liar, this, that, and the third, like attacking me. Like, and I felt so bad inside and so shameful and so worthless. I was like, I just wanted to be out. That's how bad it was, you know? And that's also where the word shameless comes in, like not caring about what people think about me, not letting other people's opinions dictate my worth. Like, I'm still worthy of experiencing true love. I'm still worthy of living my dream life. I'm still worthy of all of that, you know, regardless of what other people think or what they have to say about me and my life choices. Like, F that, you know what I'm saying? I feel like everyone should live this way, you know. Of course, don't hurt people along the way. Yeah, that's where a lot of this stuff stems from. I'm just here trying to make something of myself, and I just want to provide for my kids. I want to be great in life, you know? That's why I am choosing to use my life as an experiment. I mentioned this in my first video, just to show you guys that, you know, you can change your life. I'm just excited to be on this journey. I'm excited to have you on this journey with me. I'm just ready to live my life and to chase my dreams. And that's pretty much it. So I think I'm gonna wrap it up for this video because it's kind of long. I didn't want this video to be this long, but I just wanted to give you guys a little more context as to who I am, where I come from. I'm definitely missing a lot of pieces in this story of mine, but yeah, I just feel like I can't depend on anyone, at least financially, because I do have great people in my life, like my girlfriends. Like, I love my besties so much. You know who you are. I love you so much. I don't even know if they're gonna watch this video because right now, like, I'm just building this YouTube channel, this community in secret. So, but anyways, I do have my girlfriends that I'm super grateful for, but like, I'm speaking about financially. Like, there's no one I could depend on financially. Like, my parents came from Mexico with nothing, and we also went through homelessness when I was pregnant with my daughter. Actually, we got evicted from our home, and that story is really crazy too, because that home was my dad's and my uncle. They had gotten the home together, and a few years prior to us getting evicted, my uncle actually left the state. He moved from Connecticut to South Carolina, and then, you know, a few years later, we get evicted. Mind you, my dad was sending my uncle the mortgage, like his part of the mortgage, every single month for years. And when we investigated into this whole situation, they told my dad, like, you know, the house hasn't been paid for years. And my dad's like, that's impossible. I've been sending my brother the money. And, you know, my uncle was like, I don't know what's going on. Like, he was just denying everything. He was saying that he was making the payments. He doesn't know what happened, blah, blah, blah. Like, it was a really fucked up situation. But I forgive my uncle. And, you know, when I see him for like big family functions, I say hi, I give him a hug. And, you know, it's really unfortunate. Like, I feel for my dad. Like, it actually really hurts now that I think of it, because my whole life, like, I just remember my parents always had to borrow money from other family members to make enough money for the rent, and to then discover that the house wasn't being paid for years, and we were gonna get evicted, and then I'm pregnant. Like, it was just really hard. Like, I really feel so bad for my dad, and yeah. But luckily, like, you know, he has a big family. Like, we ended up staying with one of my aunts for a few months while we found a house. I was working 3 jobs, pregnant, just trying to save up enough to help put some money down for this house that we're currently living in. And, you know, I just feel like I've been through a lot, and that's why I'm just so hungry to make something of myself, and I just want to make my parents proud. I want to make myself proud, my kids proud. And yeah, you know, currently I'm here. I share a room with my 2 kids, and yeah. So I didn't think I was gonna cry for this video. I'm like, oh my god, I was just ugly crying. It's so embarrassing. But gotta be shameless, right? Gotta be shameless. And yeah, I'm just really excited to see myself on the other side and to bring you guys along with me. And I just hope to inspire you guys. And yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up here. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching until the end. I know it was long. If you can resonate with my life story, please comment down below. I would love to connect with you guys. If you have any questions, drop the questions down below. I love you guys so much. I hope you have a beautiful day, beautiful evening, whatever time it is that you're watching this. Don't forget that you are enough and you are worthy no matter where you come from or what you've been through. Okay? And I love you. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.